Hi everyone. I want to share a bit a story of resilience. I had a call. I checked in on a friend of mine who's been going through some really tough times, personally, and professionally. And I say professionally in terms of business and things like that. And it's pretty rough. It's not something that I would like to go through myself, but every time I check in on him, he has been, and the word resilience is what really comes to mind. He is going through some pretty serious stuff that for a lot of people would have brought them to their knees. And it's nothing to even do with COVID, because this all started before COVID. It's been in the past sort of 6 months, really. Um, and I've been checking in on him occasionally, just to see how he's going. Um, and he's always been a very, very positive person, um, very much a go getter and very much an action taker. And so I know, as much as it is challenging, he has been able to arm himself with the tools to be able to get through this. And I think this is where it was such a great lesson to be able to even just have a conversation with him, because even though the amount of, and I'd say, pain, like emotional pain, that he's going through, and the anxiety that the situation that he's in, and excuse the barking dog because it's barking dog time. Um, he is still able to look at what ways um, he can come up with a solution, and if he's unable to, what he said to me, maybe it's just not meant to work because I've given it everything I've got. And maybe I am meant to just focus on one thing. And so that was a huge thing for him to say, because this has been, and like I said, when it's to do with personal matters, it's not something that just turns up and you can sort of brush it off. I mean, in terms of business matters, it's a little bit different as well. But we're talking about something that could be quite, financially impacting, and quite serious. But yet he was able to look at it and say, maybe there's a lesson in this. It's not the best way to be learning from it. Not the best way, but not the most enjoyable way to be learning. But you're still looking at what was the lessons behind it. And maybe, and to a certain extent, even though this hasn't been resolved yet, to a certain extent, he's looking forward to be able to say, what are the opportunities I can still take out of this to make this good? It might not feel good at the moment, but I can still make it good. So it made me sort of think about how much we as business owners go through all levels of adversity in whatever we're doing, whether it's personal life, in our business, we go through, rises and thrusts through everything, and we get thrown into all levels of adversity, and it all comes down to such that mental strength and that mental resilience of how do you get out of it. It might not be physically out of something, but how do you pull yourself out? And I had it in my mind that he almost, in my mind, where I was speaking to it, this image of a boxer, really, a boxer that was had been knocked around, and I think he felt the same. I could hear it in his voice. He was absolutely exhausted. He said that as well. He was exhausted, and I could see his face almost sort of blue and black, not physically, but like that emotional exhaustion, to go through all that he's going. But he just kept picking himself up. He just keeps picking himself up off the ground. He's not going to give up. And he's still got his left, right, left, right, left, right, and boxers are one of the fittest people in the world to be able to keep going in the ring, for what might seem hours to them, but just minutes. But it's it's them being able to push further and be the, still be the champion at the end of it. And I really think this is where he is. He is, despite all the challenges that he's going through now, that he's actually going to come out of this even bigger and stronger and even more successful than he could ever imagine. Because if this doesn't break him, like it would, I would have said, a lot of people, it is going to make him even a greater man and a greater person than he already is, because he provides so much incredible value to the community and everything that he does and shares. So I'm going to ask you, how do you handle adversity? And I'd love for you to share with me the ways that you and the tools that you have in your tool belt to be able to ride those tough times. Because I think all of us could really, really learn from each other's experiences, because we've all been through that. So my lesson, I guess the lesson that I have for today is, always look at what's available at past this adversity, and understand that this too shall pass. This too shall pass, and there is something bigger and brighter on the other side. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye.